Okay, so we're back with some more TMUA. This is the same paper as last video, and we're just going to do in the next three questions, so questions 4, 5, and 6. So let's get right into it. Now, for question 4, the first thing that we want to notice is that I'm going to write out A of n, and we need to look at these exponents. And so we want to find this summation. Now, because n is always an integer, these two exponents are specifically important. If n is odd, then that means that n plus 2 is also in odd. And if n is an even, then n plus 2 must also be even. So what that means here is that we can combine those two terms and we can get an equals 2 lots of minus 1 to the n subtract minus 1 to the n minus 2. Sorry, n minus 1. And now the easiest thing to do here is to just start by writing out the first few terms. Note that n starts at 1. So we're going to start off with a of 1 is going to be 2 lots of minus 1 to the 1 minus 1 to the 1 minus 1. So negative 2 subtract 1 minus 1 is 0, so that's going to be 0. So the exponent's going to be 0, so whole thing's going to be 1, so minus 3. A of 2 is going to be 2 lots of minus 1 to the 1 minus 1 to the 2 minus 1. So, sorry, that should be a 2. So we're going to have 2 subtract minus 1 to the power of 1. So it's 2 subtract negative 1. So 3. A 3 is going to equal 2 lots of minus 1 to the 3 subtract minus 1 to the 3 minus 1. So we're going to have minus 2 subtract 1, because minus 1 squared is going to be positive 1. So minus 3. And what we can notice here is that all of these odd terms are always going to be negative 3, and all of the even terms are going to be positive 3. So we can write that more generally. A of 2k plus 1 is going to equal minus 3, and A of 2k is going to equal plus 3. So now all we're left with is to count how many odds and evens there are from 1 to 39. Now what we can do is we can pair these up, and because we're adding them, we can note that I'm listing all the numbers here, but I'm not going to add them all. 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and so on and so forth. Each of these pairs, so that's going to correspond to minus 3. That's going to correspond to plus 3. So that's going to be 0. That's going to be same thing here, all the way up until we get to 37, 38, which is going to be 0. And then we'll just add a 39. 39 is odd, so minus 3. So therefore our answer is going to be B. Question 5. This is just effectively just an integration question. The only thing you have to be careful about here is that the area is signed, so that's set to trip you up. Let's start by drawing a sketch. We all know what this parabola looks like. Y equals x with minus 1, x, y. x2 is going to be about here, and minus 2 is going to be about here. These intercepts are going to be 1 and minus 1. So we can note that the area on this side is going to be the same as the area on this side. So when we're integrating it, we only have to integrate over these bounds and work out that area and then times it by 2. But because our integral sign, we're going to have to do some moduluses. Moduluses? I think that's the plural. So our area is going to be 2 lots of the mod of the integral from 0 to 1 of y dx plus the mod of the integral from 1 to 2 of y dx. Now only this first one really needs to be modded, only this one, because the other one's always positive, but it's consistent to have it for both, I suppose. We can just plug y straight in, and we all know how to integrate x squared minus 1. So that's what we got. I'm going to vary this between 1 and 0 first. So 1 cubed over 3 minus 1, subtract 0 cubed over 3 minus 0. So this is going to be 1 over 3 minus 1, which is going to be negative 2 over 3. We want to mod this. And that's going to be our first integral. So the integral from 0 to 1 of y dx is going to be 2 over 3. Mod of that. The second part of the integral is going to be from 1 to 2. And this is just going to be 2 cubed over 3 minus 2, subtract what we've already worked out here, minus 2 over 3, so subtract minus 2 over 3. So 8 over 3 minus 6 over 3 plus 2 over 3, 4 over 3. Now we add these together, we're going to get 6 over 3, as that's 4 over 3 plus 2 over 3, which is just going to be 2. We're going to want to times that by 2, so we're going to be left with 4, because we had this 2 up here. So therefore our answer is going to be C. Question 6 is quite a fun one, to be honest. I like ratio questions like this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the ratio in a format that makes it neater and easier, I suppose, well, for me at least. And then, so this is the volume of the paint in full. Now I'm going to consider the volume of red paint. So 30% of this is going to be red. So that means we want 3 over 10. I'll work in black for consistency. 3 over 10 times 12, which is going to be 36 over 10, 18 over 5, and that doesn't simplify anymore. Now for Q, we have 20%. This is a nicer fraction because it's just 2 over 10 times by 5, which is just 1. Now our total volume is 12 plus 5 plus 3, which is 20. And our current volume of red paint is 1 plus 18 over 5 plus 3 times by the percentage of red paint in R. Apologies for the bad handwriting. So 1 plus 18 over 5, that's going to be 23 over 5, plus 3, I'm just going to call this here R, plus 3R. That 3 comes from up here, just doing the same thing that we have for the other two. And we want this to be 20%, sorry, we want this to be 25% of 20. So 1 over 4 times by 20 is going to get us 5. Now, the reason why we have f over here, although it's not right, f is wrong, just to clarify that, is because if this fraction was greater than 5, which it isn't, so if this was greater than 25 over 5, then that would be impossible to achieve because we've already gone above that threshold and we can't lower it anymore. So we need effectively negative percentage of red. But yeah, it's not f. So we know that already. And we need to solve for r such that 23 over 5 plus 3r equals 5. This is just a linear equation. We know how to solve these, don't we? 15r equals 2, r equals 2 over 15. Now we have to express this as a percent, which is a little bit annoying, I suppose, because it's non-calculator, isn't it? But one thing we can do is divide top and bottom by 3. So 2 over 3 over 15 over 3. 2 over 3 over 5. And then times top and bottom by 20. It's 40 over 3 over 100. 40 over 3 is 13 and a third, let's say. Yes, 39 over 3 plus 1 over 3. 100 plus a percent, this 100, we can just ignore it effectively. So we just want to consider 39 over 3 plus 1 over 3, which is 13 plus a third. So that means our answer is going to be C. Hope that was helpful. Hope that all made sense. And if you guys want me to go through the harder questions, then let me know.